Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 coming out in November.
How excited are you?
Oh, I'm extremely excited.
This is gonna be great.
And it's funny because this is probably the least exciting game that we have on tonight, but for me, it's the most exciting. And I think there's a good fan base of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And the crazy thing is, a lot of like fans of Microsoft Simulator were like, why? It, 2020 is only 4 years ago. Like, we waited like 15 before 2020 came out. Like, why is it? It's because 2020 it's like they've reached their max capabilities and they want to continue to give people more in terms of like their technology and things like that. And so yeah, let's just roll the trailer. It's gonna add a lot of elements to the game, and I'm really excited about it because this is always things that I actually asked for when I did play. And you know what this means, Dave?
Air Banana's back.
Air Banana's back, even though Banana Man's dead. Air Banana's back. But so with that, this is the trailer, and yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's bringing elements that I had been asking for in Microsoft Simulator 2020, and whoa, and go for it.
This is honestly crazy to me that they're adding more to this, because watching you play the 2020 Flight Simulator, guys, if you are proficient in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you are a pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and I had to learn a lot to play the game, to like really play the game. Yes, you can just jump in with the controller, but I bought a flight yoke, and I did learn how to fly a Cessna. I can't remember the full name of it, but if you're just listening, it's showing off the new capabilities of not only the lighting and the visuals of the game, but they're also showing the career mode that you'll be able to do, or the different challenges like advertising, aerial advertising, and there was medical, there's VIP chauffeur service. Well, I can't say that word.
charter service.
Yeah, charter service.
Yeah.
And there's agriculture. It's so cool that they're adding all these elements. And then if you see here, they're doing search and rescue. And what's really cool about what they're doing with this one is, so
this
the water,
is the sickest one. The
yeah,
helicopter cargo.
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah,
that's
and then
so sick.
oh, I'd love to fly that plane. Oh, sorry, I'm just like in awe of watching this game because I love Flight Simulator. I love simulators in general, but they're just expanding on what the first one or the 2020 version is so much, and they're just making it look so much better and adding so much things, and it's so cool.
And the camera, guys, if you guys just saw that, like, you could take pictures and stuff, and like
you can get out of your plane and
get
actually
out
like,
of your plane,
do a walk around. Yeah,
and that's always what I kind of thought was like maybe a little bit lacking from the Flight Simulator, was just like kind of
more to do.
Yeah, an objective. You know what I mean? Aside from just flying, like we're looking at hot air balloons right now going off, and like, dude, the amount of stuff like that you can do in this game. Oh, and we're looking at the Northern Lights right now. That's just like, I want to play this game so bad. This is the game that makes me want to like hit you up and be like, yo, what do I need to buy? Like, what I need the yoke. What do I need? What do I need to be in this world now?
Exactly. And that's so now that they're adding a bunch of this stuff, they have me wanting to get one of the sticks now, so I can actually fly helicopters, because I have like the actual like bigger plane yoke. Now I want like a HOTAS, and I really want to like fly jets like that and of that kind of nature. And so aside from adding all these different careers and missions, they have like core focuses, which is what they brought up when they first originally released the first trailer. And like I said, it's the careers, the missions, and so all of them, just kind of run through them real quick. They're gonna have like races, so like Red Bull, you saw that pop up, races and things like that. You'll be able to do commercial flights, so you have to wait for your passenger to get on and go from point A to point B. The air ambulance, the VIP charter that we mentioned, the agriculture, aviation, rescue missions, cargo transport. I already said rescue missions. Hot air balloons, blimps, and so they're adding a bunch of elements that just expand such a vast world in general. And if you haven't played the first or the 2020 version, it's literally the world. Like, you can travel anywhere in the world, one to one scale, and they're just putting more on top of that. So that was their first focus, adding all that stuff. Focus two is like their core and sim, like core sim and tech. So really adding more new physics and aerodynamics to the planes to make them feel more realistic. One of my biggest complaints that they're addressing here is the load times of getting into Microsoft Flight Simulator and the downloads every time you like every patch you had to drive like download every time you load in. They're drastically improving that, and that's also going to help reduce the specs needed for like if you play on PC, which is really nice. Overall improvements, it's going to have backwards compatibility, so any DLC that you buy in 2020 will get to be used in 2024, which is really nice because some of these planes, like, they're literally $50 to fly some of these planes.
It's expensive, yeah, and I will be a little bit forgiving here. I understand that the download times is something that people didn't really love, but um, I think you got to give them a little bit of a free pass when you're working with a world that is as big as the world. Like,
Right, rightfully so. But the fact that they're going to make it so much better and so much faster for everybody is, and reduce the specs needed for, or keep it the same as 2020. Like, you know what I mean? Which is,
that's cool.
so that means I don't have to spend 2 grand on a new PC to play one game.
Very, very cool.
Additional things are adding failure, wear, and tear. So, like, things that will actually hurt your plane, will make it crash eventually. I believe they're actually adding like explosions and fire. So, like, when we crash a plane in 2020, you just bounce off the ground and then that's it. But now it's going to show like visuals of like your engines failing and things like that, which I think is going to be cool. Um, One complaint, which a lot of mods kind of help with this, is like the avionics, like the buttons in there, like they weren't all compatible or you didn't have to use them all. So they're adding a bunch of those. And then their final focus is world improvements, which I already kind of mentioned, but the way they're being able to enhance world details, like the trees, the cliffs is a huge one. So cliffs will actually be like cliffs. It's updated satellite data. So they'll be able to have like more clear images to render these. They're adding full weather seasons, animal herds, and migration.
It's gonna have everything that you could want. And honestly, if you guys are just listening and you didn't get a chance to look at the trailer is sick, and like you can see a lot of what they've done, and you can see the details of their work. Especially when I noticed like looking at like the mountains, and like looking at that end scene, the northern lights in the sky and stuff like that. Like seeing how like crispy and just fluid that sky is. It's not there's no pixelation. I didn't see any pixelation, any breakup, anything like that. Like it looks really good. And like I said, the one thing that I always thought that flight sim was kind of lacking was just an objective other than just flying to locations. And they have just 1000% knocked that out of the park. And like I'm excited to do all the things that you can do. I want to fly there, but like I want to fly the hot air balloon. I want to go on the search missions. Like I want to just like I want to do the farming and like be able to do that where you're spreading like yeah, where you're like spreading over the crops and all that stuff. Like they've added so many things to do. And honestly, I feel like they've added like more than they had to. Like if they added half of those things to the game, I would have been like, wow, this is incredible. They added all of that stuff and it was just like my mind is blown. I can't believe they added all of that.
And I think they're setting the ground to expand it even more, which is really cool. Which they did with 2020 version. It's going to be able. So they're switching it off 2020 because they ran out of like they maxed out the tech. Well, what they have space to do even more now and eventually max out the tech, but it's going to be a long road now that they'll have more things to continue to improve the game, which is really cool and really exciting to see. And other things that they're adding, accurate live traffic. So if like you're flying, I'm flying, I'll see where you are in the world. Yeah, I mean they had that in a sense with 2020, but wasn't always the best. Like one of my friends, he used to play too, and like it would say he's here, but he wasn't even online. It's like, okay. They'll have ships like actually floating in the water. Um, and I think that's really cool. And then more liveries. So I don't know if you saw in the trailer, they actually had like legitimate like businesses on the planes before. They didn't have any of those contracts of like, let's say, I don't know if this is gonna be one, but Spirit Airlines. That's just the first one. I don't think. Yeah, Spirit's not gonna be on there. I don't know.
I mean, maybe
Maybe.
Delta. Maybe Delta.
Yeah, there you go. I'd say that's a better example, a better established,
Yeah,
trustworthy.
more
Yeah,
established, trustworthy.
yeah, um,
Spirit Airlines.
yeah. I don't
Would
know
you
why
get?
that was.
You get this ticket for $7.
Yeah, exactly. Improve ground traffic, so you actually see more cars and like more traffic down there. So that's kind of cool. And one thing that is really shined in like this trailer is the lighting. I think the lighting, and even the first one was really good, but the way the lights bounce off the planes and reflect, it's so cool, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how this lighting is going to work with the weather because one of the like it's great to load up and fly in a nice sunny day, but Adam, what did I always want you to do when you were doing Air Banana? I'm like, make it nighttime, make it snow. Like I want to see that stuff, and I'm excited to see how these light changes are going to affect the different times of day, like how bright our city's going to look when you're flying over at nighttime, like how much is the rain going to kind of feel much more realistic because now it has light bouncing off of it, and like it's just going to be such an immersive experience. And i I've always been excited for it, but I always thought it was like a huge kind of undertaking to get into it because like I said, you like honestly, dude, like I think if you know how to really play Microsoft Flight Simulator, like you pretty much you like it's not exact, pilots out there don't get mad at me, but like you know a lot of what a pilot knows, you know what I mean? And I thought it was like kind of hard to get into that, but like this trailer is pushing me to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going, like I want to do that. Like I'm willing to accept like the everything that I need to do to get into this now just to play this game.
I remember I watched the same tutorial 4 times. It was 2 hours each, and I still felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, okay, I can get the plane into the air now, but I don't know what to do after that. And like so, and then I had to keep learning, and like it's cool. And I know, so my friend that played, he actually went through flight school, and he used this to kind of help himself. Like he was like, yeah, it's not perfect, but it really did help a lot. And you could make it perfect. Like you can get a full setup where it is like a plane in your house. And I've actually been talking to my wife. I was like, okay, Bailey, what can I do to make it more immersive for me? Can I buy a simulator chair? Can I buy all the buttons? Can I buy like the HOTAS, an ultra wide monitor? I want to feel like I'm flying a plane without spending the thousands on thousands and thousands to learn a real plane when I'm gonna spend thousands to do it from the comfort of my home.
Guys, Adam is putting an addition on his house. It's just going to be the front of a plane.
That'd be so cool, wouldn't it? But no, I'm super excited about this one. I know many people probably aren't super excited about like some of our audience, but for me, I'm very excited, and I hope to target some people.
This game has a huge fan base and a very loyal fan base, and from what I've seen so far, a very welcoming and a very kind and friendly fan base. So like we are excited to get this video out to you guys, and hopefully you guys kind of say what's up because like Adam said, he's super ready for the game. I'm ready for the game. It's always fun to have people to kind of fly with and bounce ideas off of. So like if you like the video, like welcome to the community, man, and we're super excited to get into this game and hopefully have like a bunch of homies we can play with.
A couple other things that like I would love to see in the game. I would love. I think other people are talking about this too. I'd like to earn my license for different planes. Like go through like a training for like let's say a certain helicopter or a certain, let's say I'm an agricultural pilot for like that, but I want to become a commercial pilot. Like I want to like start at the bottom and work my way up. Yeah, it's probably going to take some time, and I want to learn it, or I want to have an option to learn it and like get my license in like let's say a story mode. But if I'm like, hey, I just want to jump into this Boeing and take everybody around, like I want to be able to do that too, if that makes sense. But so that'd be really cool to earn your license for different planes. Um, yeah, like I don't. There are some people worried that they're gonna take away the element of fly wherever you want, and you have to follow kind of suit with the missions. And I don't know if they're not gonna do that. I don't think you can take a step back like that.
I don't feel like you can. I feel like flight sim fans have been kind of accustomed to this fly wherever you want kind of scenario. I think these things that they're adding on are exactly that. They're additions. I think the traditional gameplay is going to hold true, and I think these are going to be some extra things that you can do, but I don't think that this is going to take the place of the traditional load up, get in your plane, fly where you want to go gameplay.
No, I don't think so at all, and partially because I think the Microsoft, they are so dedicated to the it's called VATSIM, which is like actually you have a air traffic control, you have pilots flying, and I don't think they just say, "Yep, sorry, see you later." And I think if 2020 Microsoft had the capability of adding all this stuff in, they would have. And I just don't think it does, and that's why they're moving on.
And one of the major things that you have to think of is like, guys, they've already done the work to build a world size world. You know what I mean? They've already done the hard part, which was just creating that massive world. And they're not going to just throw all that work in the garbage and be like, no, we're only doing story based stuff right now. Like, they're going to use that world size world and just update it as much as they possibly can for like now until the end of time.
Until this tech, or they want to do something that's beyond the tech of this or this technology. But who knows? That could be it could be 4 years, or it could be 15, 20 years like before. So I'm super excited about this one, and I can't wait to get back into flying. Air Banana is back.
Air Banana is back, baby. When's it drop? 2024, right?
November 19th, 2024. Let us know. Are you excited about it? Do you want to learn how to fly a plane?
Join
Yeah.
the Discord. Join the
Yeah.
Discord. Yeah, if you're a we'll link the Discord down below. But if you're a sim a Microsoft Sim guy, join the Discord and say what's up, because we're always looking for people to hang with when we do the
Yeah.
sim stuff.